It's time for Maggie and the Moms. Sponsored by Tampa General Hospital. Today we're hearing from mothers of LGBTQ children who are sharing their experience, concerns, and advice, hoping to foster understanding and help those who have walked or will walk in their shoes. And we're so happy to welcome all of you and welcome our guests, Faith Moeller. She is the founder of PFLAG Riverview. Welcome, Faith.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. And Leanne Klumb. She is a community advocate. And on the controls, my friend, Deanna Moore, executive producer of Daytime.
Hi.
Thank you as always, Deanna.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this topic, Maggie.
It's a good one.
It's so good.
We did it on our TV segment, Maggie and the Moms, which airs on Daytime at WFLA here in Tampa, Florida. And we thought it was so powerful and so good that we said, let's do a whole podcast about it. So thank you for being back. And you said that your children listened. What did they say about what you said?
They're just super proud of their mom, and I'm super proud of them. Yeah.
Same thing. So it's they love the advocacy work, and my son enjoys doing advocacy too. So yeah.
So let's start there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your children and their journey?
Well, my oldest is on the autism spectrum and has learning disabilities, ADHD, and some other comorbidities. So I was kind of started out that way. And then my youngest is transgender, and we've been on that journey as well. And I share the story that my daughter Annie began expressing a desire to dress like a boy from the time she could put words together at the age of 1.5. And she was consistent, insistent, and persistent in that. And so what we did was kind of just follow her lead. She wanted to dress like a boy. We bought her boy clothes. And my thinking on that was to do otherwise would somehow send a message we thought something was wrong with her. And it was probably just a phase, right? Ball caps today, tutus tomorrow. So nobody made it a thing. And it worked out really well as far as elementary and preschool, because we didn't make it a thing. Teachers and her fellow students didn't make it a thing. And she was dressed like a boy, played with all the little boys, and it was just Annie.
And Annie is now Andy.
Correct.
And we'll talk more about him. Faith, tell us about your children. You have 4.
Sure, I have 4. My son Zachary is 27 and serving our country as a Marine in California. I have Sydney, who is 25, and then Lilo, my non-binary lesbian child, is 22, and then the youngest is 19.
So let's talk about Lilo.
Yeah.
Tell us about the coming out process and your reaction to it, Faith.
Sure. So like Andy, my child was assigned female at birth, and when they came out, they were about 13, had always been a fantastic student, always the teacher's pet. And then probably around 8th grade, they started having some behavior problems at home and at school. We didn't know what was going on. And at that time, they had actually expressed interest in boys. They had always been a tomboy, but great student. We were on a family vacation, and they were super withdrawn, not having a good time. And on the way home from that road trip, they had sent me a text. I was sitting in the front seat, and they said, "I am gay." And
In a text?
In a text. And
While driving?
They're in the back seat, and I'm in the front seat. Because I had, I texted, and I'm like, what is going on with you? And
Because they were withdrawn.
Yeah. And so being a Christian family at the time, that was something that I knew when that landed, it was like a bomb. Because unfortunately, the church that we were involved in, that was not, I don't want to say not acceptable, but it was viewed as a sin. Like, you can be doomed to go to hell for being gay. And my child was on the worship team. I was on staff at the church.
Was that your first thought?
No.
No. What was your first thought?
My first thought was I felt grieved for my child that they were experiencing all of this by themselves.
Oh.
And I thought about how disturbed they had been and maybe how alone they had felt. And so, yeah, I just, being mom, I'm like, I'm going, how can I help?
I was just going to say
how
that
can I
sounds
help?
like a mom reaction.
Yeah.
You just want you feel everything for
Yeah,
your child, everything that your child
absolutely.
is feeling.
Yeah.
And were you thinking, gosh, I wish I would have known sooner so I could have did that come to your mind?
It was really like, oh, do I keep this to myself or do I tell my husband?
Oh,
And so that was difficult too, because, we're all on this journey now together with Lilo, but then on our own journeys too of
Exactly.
reconciling, what do we do with this news?
What did you do with the news, Leanne, and how did it come your way?
So, like I said, Annie was always dressing like a boy through elementary school, and she was just this happy little kid. And then in middle school, she started wanting to appear more feminine. And I thought, okay, well, it was just a phase. But she became very sullen and sad. And
So same thing that you described,
exactly,
Faith.
very depressed in therapy. And, what I would come to learn later was she only dressed like a girl in middle school and high school because she thought she had to fit in. But I didn't know these things were going on. And she was trying to define herself as well. And when she finally did and she came out to me, I have to be honest, I was so sad not because I thought something was wrong with her, but because I was losing my daughter. I mean, I was heartbroken, to be honest with you. And while you're dealing and navigating with that grief, I also had to move forward for the sake of my kid, because I didn't know a lot yet about what it meant to be transgender, but I knew they had high rates of suicide. So while I'm navigating my own grief, I'm also trying to help my child to stay strong and feel good about themselves so we could move forward.
So it sounds like you both just went into mom mode immediately. Like you allowed yourselves a moment of grief for different reasons, and then just mom mode. How can I help my child? What can I do for my child? What was your process like? You said you debated whether to tell your husband.
Yeah.
What was your process as parents like in the early days after this?
In the early days, I mean, as a mom, for me personally, and this isn't everybody's journey, I was radical acceptance right away, and I think even more so because I knew our community was not going to be. So I needed to, so we went to church. They had to let the pastor know. They were told they had to step down from the worship team.
Really?
I immediately did a graceful exit from staff because just to protect her. In the meantime, my husband really struggled. I mean, he was of whether or not it was even a thing. And so I began to, still loving and everything, but just like, this might be something that's really not her. It might be a lie that she's believing from things she has seen or whatever. I began reading books about what to do as a Christian parent at the time, when things began to help me, and people could see that I was out on social media with my child, who I allowed to go to the barbershop and shave their head and dress in boy clothes, because that brought them a little bit of happiness, made them feel a little bit more comfortable in their skin. Some people were not happy and let me know that they thought that was wrong. Other people asked me on coffee dates because they also were having children coming out to them and they didn't know how to handle it. So I just began to build my own tribe, basically.
And the siblings, how did they respond to the news?
So the sisters, immediately radical acceptance. I think her brother struggled a little bit more quietly. And there was a distance between them for a couple years because I think he was also trying to figure things out. But there was always love there. And today it's as if she's always been gay and non-binary and all the things. So,
that's wonderful that you got there.
Yeah.
Were you there right away after your moment of grief, Leanne?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, what's neat too about the husband piece. So my husband's quite a bit older than I am. And so he's this dude from the Midwest and he was in his upper 60s. And he handled it way better than I did. Because again, I was 100% accepting. I was just sad.
Yeah.
And he was like on it. Like, all right, so we're going to go see a counselor as a family and we're going to figure this out. And so he was terrific.
That's great.
Yeah.
So just because, though, as we all know the family accepts and loves unconditionally. That doesn't mean that the world does. So to say, okay, our family is going to love unconditionally, but we know what you're going to face out there. Have they faced it, and how do you tackle that part of it?
Yeah, so they have faced it. Honestly, I hate to bring up the restroom thing, but it is a thing for my child in the restroom. And safety, and being worried about their safety, because they present as masculine. And so when they're in a female's restroom, there have been grown adult people look at them and go, "What are you doing here?" But they're female, right? And that's the bathroom that they choose and feel the safest to be in. So that at school, having people honor their preferred name has been a thing. And even more so in college, you would think it would be better, but because
I would think so, yeah.
the political climate, it has made it harder. So if the teacher doesn't want to use their name and pronouns, it makes it more difficult. So
what about for Andy?
So we were really blessed with timing. So he went to college in 2016, and their legal team helped him get his legal name change. And at that time, all the professors honored who he was. And so we were very blessed in that way. And it made the transition so much easier. And the key to all of these things, when we talk about recognizing their name and pronouns, is just making them feel safe. And it sends the message to the other kids in the classroom that you, as the professor or the teacher, accept this kid. And so it's good for everybody, right? It's a positive thing for everybody.
What would you say to people who don't agree with this and who are resistant to kind of treat them in the way that you hope that they would be treated? How do you get through to people who are of that mind? Just as moms, like, you're the mom of this child, I want you to know blank.
Right. Well, if I was talking to another parent about accepting their kids, I know we say that the golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I'd like to say, let's take it a next step, and let's do unto others as they would like them to have done to them. Like, if we want to really love people, how I feel loved and how you feel loved may be two different ways. And I'm telling you, if you tell me your name is Maggie, and I want to call you Martha, and I'm going to call you Martha every time I see you because that's the name that your parent had given you, how honored and respected are you going to feel?
Not at all.
You know? And if I started using he pronouns on you, and with every fiber of your being, you know that you're a she, her, how are you going to feel?
So it's about empathy is what you're saying. Put yourself in the shoes of the person.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would your advice be?
So when it comes to folks that are transgender, that's a real sticky place, right? And I'm sensitive to the fact that if it doesn't touch your life, if you don't know someone who's transgender, it can be hard to wrap your mind around it, right? And they are a small percentage of the population. We're talking maybe 1% to 2% of the population. But what I would say is, and the reason why I do this work is to put a human face on it. And to say my family's not that much different than your family. So I was in the PTA. My husband taught soccer, coached soccer. Our kids played different sports, and we raised them in the church. And so maybe by sharing that, it maybe breaks down those barriers of thinking.
It says this could be you. This could be your child.
Exactly.
And
We're
how
just
would you
any
want
family.
people to react if it were your child? And upon my research, I just saw some statistics about bullying that just broke my heart, because we all worry about bullying, especially in middle school and high school. But when we talk about the LGBTQ community, I was reading the Trevor Project studied it. And this was a couple of years ago, so maybe it's better or worse. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me what you think. The majority of LGBTQ youth, 52%, who were enrolled in middle or high school, reported being bullied. More prevalent in middle than high school. Transgender and non-binary students, highest rates of bullying in the community. And among all bullied LGBTQ students, they had 3 times greater risk of attempting suicide. 25% of bullied high schoolers attempted suicide. 29% of bullied middle schoolers attempted suicide. somebody who's thinking of taking their life because they are being mistreated or being who they are. When I thought about that, I thought, how could someone hear that and not respond to it? How, right?
And the key word you said was not thought about it. The key word you said was attempted. So we're talking about they
tried to take
tried
their
to,
lives.
Yes, and that's a key word. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for me as a mom, I think any mom of any child will hear that and say, we gotta do something about this. We gotta change our thinking. So that brings me to my next topic that I'd like to talk about. What do you think that they would want to see happen, to see change?
Really just acceptance.
But how?
How for acceptance? Well, I think, let me say it this way. I think it starts with us as the adults, what we're saying around our kids. So for example, when my son came out senior year, he was in one of his classes, and this particular professor actually had said some homophobic things just in the course of being in the classroom. And that was difficult. And then there was a student, a friend of his, a young lady, who said to my son, "You're so brave to come out." She said, "Because I'm gay, but I'm afraid to tell my parents because my parents have said negative things about gay people at the dinner table." So a lot of this starts with us as the adults and how we frame things for our kids. Because if we're framing them negatively, then our kids are going to school with that mindset about their classmates.
Because in the case of both of you, they may have been going through stuff at school, but they knew that at home they had a safe place. They were loved unconditionally. And gosh, if you have neither, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. What about, because, you know, mental health is a big concern, especially in this community. How was the mental health of your children?
Lilo really struggled. So in 8th grade, I told you when they had come out. But then by the time they entered high school, my child was Baker acted twice.
Really?
From not wanting to live anymore. And that was with family support at home. But going to school, they didn't have all of the support. You know, and you can't, there's always going to be mean kids, you know, and some of the biggest bullies are the teachers.
Really?
Teachers that don't affirm who they want, they might not even think they're being a bully. Maybe they think they're living out their beliefs, but by not respecting somebody, using the name that they prefer, using the pronouns, those are, you know, make them feel like they're not seen. And it's a form of bullying. It really is. On the other end, you might not think you're bullying, but ask the child. You know,
well, yeah, a child who's Baker acted twice because they don't want to live anymore. As a mom, how's your mental health when Lilo's going through this?
Well, I suffered, but not by myself. So I had friends to talk to. I do want to leave, let you know something good is, I mean, she ended up, and they go by all the pronouns, by the way, so you can't butcher it.
Okay.
I have a cool child, all the pronouns. But by 10th grade, they had dropped out of school. And this was honestly, I love all 4 of my kids, but they are the smartest one. Okay. Dropped out of school in 10th grade. We homeschooled a bit, but barely, because they just were not in a mind space to do it. 2 years ago, they took their GED and entered college at HCC, and they've been on the dean's list ever since.
Not surprisingly.
So hang in there for the moms who just really cannot see the light. Like their kids are in the trenches right now, and they're in the trenches with them.
Can we talk to the moms directly? Because I think right now there are moms at home who don't have a support system, who may sort of be in your situation, Faith, where you were in the church and maybe they can't talk to anybody. So could you talk to moms right now who maybe think that they have a child that's trans or can see some sort of signs, if there are signs, of maybe, you know, liking same sex? And maybe you can think about the things that you did in the past that you could have changed. So do you have advice?
So straight away, if you really feel like you can't speak your truth to anybody right now, get a book. It'll give you some courage. And then find a PFLAG chapter in your area.
What is PFLAG for people who don't know?
Sure. PFLAG's been around for over 50 years. It's for parents and friends. It used to be Parents and Friends of Lesbian and Gays. Now it's the whole spectrum. But it'll give you a small group of people that even if you didn't feel like sharing, you might hear from a transgender person for the first time. And all of them are not suffering. They're living healthy lives. And so that was an inspiration. That is something that I highly encourage you to do, is just you might have to step out of your tribe and find a new one eventually. I'm part of PFLAG Riverview, so I'll just throw that out there. You know,
Faith is here for you.
You can find me, and I would love to have a coffee date with you or meet you at a support group.
That's essential, I'm sure, for you too, Leanne. I would like to know your advice for other moms as well. But first, I would like to know if you and Andy had any mental health struggles along the way and how you overcame them.
Yeah. So Andy later told me that when he was in high school, he thought he wouldn't live past the age of 21. And so his mental health struggles become yours as a mom, just worrying about them and how that can just take a toll on you as a mom, but you don't want your child to know you're worrying because, especially in the case of my kid, he's kind of protective of me. And our kids are so sensitive, right? And they sense what's going on with us. So you want to try to put a brave front on it, but it's just horrifying to think about that. So, yeah.
And how did he overcome?
He transitioned. Now, he does have depression in addition to the gender dysphoria, so that does make it tricky, and he still has some struggles with that. But he transitioned, and he became the person he always thought he was when he was little and wearing baseball caps and boy clothes and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
In our last 5 minutes, I would like to know your advice for mothers who have walked in your shoes or will walk in your shoes.
Similar to Faith, I know I felt having a transgender child was very isolating. I mean, you're just not talking to your next door neighbor and comparing notes about how you both have trans kids, right? And then on top of that, it's this information overload. Binders, what are those? Oh my, are they safe? Oh my gosh, well, what about hormones? Are hormones safe? What's that going to do to my child long term? Like, and what's the future look like? And is my kid going to be safe? And so, just like what Faith said, the support group saved us because you're seeing other kids at different stages of transition. You're seeing parents dealing with different things. A lot of times a support group too will do what ours do, which is like brought in an endocrinologist. And let me tell you,
they have resources.
I drilled down on that endocrinologist with questions that I think made some people blush, but I needed to know.
You needed to know.
I did. And so it's a wonderful resource, and then you don't feel alone.
Okay, I would like to punctuate this wonderful conversation with some poetry, if I may, because I know that Leanne has a couple of things that she'd like to share. The poem that you wrote, would you mind reading it?
I would love to read it.
Okay.
So I wrote this early on in the transition when I was, as I say to my kids, all in my feels. And so it goes as this. This kid is Andy, but you may recognize the look of our daughter's blonde hair and green eyes. At the ripe age of 1, she said no to a dress. And from that moment on, it was Buzz and Woody, not Jess. He's made a transition. It's been a difficult one to lose our sweet daughter, to embrace our new son. We've had to go through it and let ourselves grieve, to cry out the tears so our hearts would receive. And Andy's so happy to finally be what he's felt in his heart he wanted to see. We hope you don't harshly judge and abuse. It's a difficult life and not something to choose. God made my child just like he made me, and his sweet, strong son is all we should see. We wanted to share it to tell everyone that this kid is Andy and he is our son.
Leanne, thank you. That's beautiful. Faith, thank you as well. And we have to thank Andy and Lilo too. Thank you all for listening, watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Maggie and the Moms.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so